achieved with CryEngine.
Hello, and welcome to the first video in my CryEngine series. So let me tell you a little bit about myself and where I come from and why I do this. The reason I upload videos is because, well, I had tried to learn CryEngine for quite a while, and probably took me several months to learn it, and it was just because what I noticed is I couldn't really find any videos that fit me well. And so I often found myself scratching my head about every little thing that would come through in CryEngine. So what I want to do is I want to make a more broad tutorial, and I want to make something that more people can follow. So just a little reminder or disclaimer. This is going to be the installation and launch, and it's just as simple as that. So what we're going to be doing today is just what's in the video's name. We're just going to be installing and launching. And I will warn you that the website that I'm going to be giving you, you have to sign up for it. It's not hard, and they're a very trusty website. I haven't had any problems with them. They haven't sent me one email besides anything that I've initiated, like a forum or something. It's the only thing I've gotten an email for. So there will be a link in the description. Don't worry, I have my homepage set here, and this is what will pop up. Now this is like the news, and this is the gallery, and I encourage you to upload a few of your works to the gallery. Just kind of like show off what you've made with my tutorials. I would really like to see that. And I'll drop down a like for you too. So anyway, let's get to it. So you'll have to log into an account. If you need help logging into an account, then just private message or something, because I don't really think that it's anything that people have problems with, but if you're having problems with it, just send me a private message and I would be more than happy to help. And you don't need the account to download it, you need the account to actually use CryEngine 3. So yeah, what you'll do is if you haven't noticed, click this download the free SDK, and the version that is live right now at the time of this video is 3.5.8. And this is just the most patched build. So it just has all this information, and if you know anything about the system requirements, I mean, most people should be able to run this, but it really depends on the scale of your game. But this is the system requirements for the developer, and this is the system requirements for the end user. So the end user is just the person actually playing the game that you publish. But this is just level design. You can't really make a full game just by making a map. I mean, I guess you could, but it's not really going to be a game. It's kind of going to be more of a prototype of a game. I wouldn't recommend it at all. Okay, so now back to the actual downloading process. All you have to do is click download now. And sometimes you have to click it a few times. I've noticed, because I'll download a ton of updates from them. But yeah, see, just click different parts of the button, I've noticed. I mean, I'm sure that's not mandatory, but that's what I've noticed. So after your CryEngine, your CryEngine 3 point whatever is downloaded, you're just simply going to open up the zip file, and most people would tell you that you need WinRAR. No, you can just extract it straight out of any zip archive, even just the one that comes with Windows or comes installed in Windows is fine. Just anything that you can get access to these files in. Before we start extracting these files, you don't want to have this giant mess on your desktop. So right click on your desktop, go under New, and go to Folder. Now this folder name doesn't matter, this is just whatever you please. So I'm going to make mine CryEngine 3. And if you want to keep up with your version, I suggest doing CryEngine 3.5.8 or 3. Whatever. So I'm just going to leave mine at CryEngine 3 to simplify things. And all you have to do is just simply click and drag, and drop it in. And it has to decompress all these files, so it might take a little bit depending on the power of your hard drive and the rest of your computer, mainly your hard drive. Okay, so now that we're done with that, you can get rid of your zip file. If you don't have much space on your computer, that'd be exactly what I recommend. That or you're just being smart with your space, unlike me. And it'll just maybe help your performance a little bit. I don't think it'll really do anything noticeable. But I like to keep it here just for backups so that I don't have to download it again in case anything happens. So I'm just going to leave it right up here for now. So now you'll notice you have all the same files, just in a quicker way. Like, you don't have to decompress everything that you go into. You can just kind of go into it. So let's go ahead and get started with the launch. Now, you need to know whether or not you have a 64-bit operating system. And I'm not going to go into the technical explanation of that. This says bin 32 dedicated, bin 64, and bin 64 dedicated. So if you have a 64-bit operating system, you'll want to open this. And if you have a 32-bit operating system, you'll want to open this. The bin 32 dedicated, if you're wanting to run a server, which will be explained in a later tutorial, you will just, if you have a 32-bit operating system and you want to launch a dedicated server, you'll go to this. 64-bit, you want to launch a dedicated server, you'll go to this. So, now that you know that, I have a 64-bit, and if you have a 64-bit and you're having problems, I'm pretty sure that Windows 8 has a problem. And so if you're running Windows 8, just launch the 32-bit, because I've noticed on Windows 8, it doesn't let you launch the 64-bit. It just does nothing. So launch the 32-bit if you're running a Windows 8 operating system. But in my case, I have Windows 7, and I'm on a 64-bit operating system. So this works the same way as bin 32 does. So if you're running a 64-bit operating system, if you're running a 32-bit operating system, then just do exactly what you see here, except you'll go into the bin 32, but the process will be exactly the same. So you'll scroll down until you see Editor. Now, what my recommendation is you right-click on this and you create shortcut, and then you drag that shortcut right here, so that you don't have to go through all this again. And so, if you don't want to do that, then just simply launch this. So we can close down this, it's not mandatory. So here's the loading screen, and you always want to allow access. If you're making a single player game, at least if that's your plans, or a single player map, or just using it for art, then I don't guess you have to let it through your firewall, but I would highly recommend checking both of these and allowing access to your firewall. In fact, you might have to do that getting to think about it. I'm not sure. I've never tested it. But you might need to do that to log in for the first time. Okay, so this is your crydev.net username and password. So I'm just going to log in with my username and password for crydev.net, and you'll just use your crydev.net username and password. And so this is the only time you'll have to log in. It stores it in the registry of your computer, so that even if you have to update your CryEngine, it won't ask you to log in, which is nice, because logging in would become a pain in the butt. So accept the terms of use, and check that, click accept, and it'll say starting game. Right here, it'll give you a bunch of progress. And if you have any errors in this stage, because CryEngine isn't that stable, I recommend you just searching on Google. But if you can't find anything on Google, and or you're just too lazy to, just shoot me a private message, and I'll help you out with it. So there you go. You've successfully installed and launched the CryEngine editor. So that's it for this tutorial. Stay tuned for more episodes. I plan on releasing 1 or 2 a week, and if you want to see what we're going to do in the future, just look at the description. And for this video, I have a little plan talking about what I want to do. So stay tuned for the next tutorial. This is it for this tutorial. Please subscribe to this channel, and like it if you like it, dislike it if you don't. I kind of like to see where I am, and if you dislike it, please leave a comment telling me why you didn't like it. We really like constructive criticism, and we want to improve. So anyway, thanks for watching. Just a little tip for the series is don't try to get ahead of yourself. Just if you follow the steps, then you'll learn it quicker. So that's kind of where I went wrong with some of the videos that I had watched. Just follow my lead, unless I say otherwise, or I tell you there's some there can be some creative slack let here. So yep, let's get to it. So let me show you the goals. So the goals of this series, number 1 is to provide you with the knowledge to create a base for building anything from a hobby to a career. So maybe you just think it's fun to do this, but you have a career in mind. This is just a hobby. That's fine. That, or if you're like me and you want to build a career out of this, then that's also something that you can learn off this. Just the art is what we're going to be focusing on. No asset creation, just the basics. I also want to show you that level design is not complicated. Everyone thinks that it's like the Matrix where the hacking stuff is going on. No, it's very, very simple. It comes to a point where it's as easy as building a house in Minecraft. It's not that complicated. I would also like to show you how fun it is to create levels. I have a passion for this, and I hope that you will too after you're done with this tutorial series. And I also want to provide a shortcut, basically, to share what I've learned over 7 months of level design, and basically to compress the amount of time that it takes you. And I would also like to share some of my personal techniques and just a few things that I've personally learned that I hadn't seen in a video or something, or a document that I'd read. So yes, let's get to it.